The importance of real estate investment cannot be overemphasized. When you check your alert and you see that one of your tenants just made his payment, or the lifestyle you enjoy, living the life of your dream, where you can wake up and then travel to any part of the world because you have passive income that is actually funding this lifestyle. Hello smart investors, welcome to Real Estate Made Easy, your number one YouTube channel where we educate you, we inform you, we enlighten you about property investment, giving you pro tips, guides, advice and warning so that you can avoid the costly mistakes other people are making. So if you are here to subscribe to this channel, why don't you do so right away and turn on the notification bell so that you do not miss our subsequent video. You can also do it by going through our previous episode, check our playlist and learn one thing or the other that can improve your real estate investment knowledge. Today we'll be discussing 5 easy ways to lose your money when investing in real estate in Nigeria. So make sure you stay tuned and enjoy this video with us. Thank you. Number 1, lack of goal. You see, when you don't have a focus on what you want to do, some people may call across and they say, I want to buy property. What do you really want to do? People tell you their budget is an open budget. That is actually not correct enough. You cannot have an open budget. You know your worth. You know what you can afford and you know what you cannot afford. You should know the kind of property you are after and property you want to acquire. What is your motivation? What are you after? Do you want to make a passive income through rent, or you want to actually invest for a very short time and pull out so that both your money as well as your capital, you know it is safe and it's secure. So your appetite is just very short time investment. Or you want a place that even when you retire from your active work, you can easily reside and you can live, or you can sell and you can actually even give out for short let. So your motivation is you must understand why you want to invest in real estate, why you want to buy the property you want to buy. So that your motivation, your purpose must be well established. That will guide you and that will help you in knowing the kind of budget you are supposed to have and how to go about it. Saying that you have an open budget is not good enough because you will not be able to make an informed decision. So lack of goal and lack of identifying objective is one of the basic reasons why people actually lose out big time, because they can easily fall to anything they lay their hands on. Number 2, ignoring risk. You see, every investment has its associated risk. There's nothing like a risk-free investment. The only thing you need to know is how to manage the risk. So you must understand what are the risks associated with the kind of investment you want to go into, and how do you manage the risk, or how do you avoid a dino story, how do you avoid untold hardship. That's very important. But funny for anybody telling you that this property is risk-free, this investment is risk-free, is not true. You must know the risk associated with it, and then you must know how it can be managed so that it's not beyond what can be managed or something beyond redeemable. You must understand that there is risk involved in any investment you are going into, but you must also understand how to manage the risk so that you do not fall into a dino story. Number 3, buy and forget. You see some people, maybe somebody just advised that, hey, you can buy this property, it's actually cheap and affordable. So the next thing they just buy. They didn't even remember to collect the receipt for that property. They didn't even remember to take any possession. They just said, I have one property in Ekpe some time ago when I was still serving. Oh, I have one property in Sagote Edo when I was this and that. I have property in Baripa in Abuja when I was posted to Abuja. People just buy property here and there without taking possession of the property, without taking the receipt of the property, without ownership of that property. So they just buy and they forget about it in their mind that they have the property. If anything happens to them, the property is gone because they don't have record for it. Their family don't have record for it either. So do not be in that shoe. This is one of the easiest way people actually lose out their property. Their investment that they've used huge amount of money to acquire, but because they did not take ownership of it. So do not be in that shoe. What do you need to do? The pro tip is that when you buy a property, ensure you have all your necessary documents, have your receipt, have your contract of sale, have your deed of agreement given to you. Ensure you take physical possession of that property. Even if you're just fencing, you need to do fence that property so that anybody who has eye to see, you know that that property belongs to somebody. Take ownership of the property you are buying. Do not buy and forget. Number 4, neglecting the paperwork. Just like I said earlier on, never neglect taking ownership of your property you have acquired. So make sure your paperwork is adequately and properly done. Take a physical possession of that property you are buying. Ensure that the title is properly transferred to you. Ensure you have every record of it documented. Survey the property, have the survey plan registered, the survey plan lodged, your date of assignment registered. All of these things are very, very important, because without you taking the ownership of the property without you doing the necessary paperwork, you could lose that property easily. And of course, your return on investment will be gone. Your ownership of that property will also be lost. So do not make the mistake of neglecting paperwork because you think this thing is expensive. How long will it take me before the survey plan will come out? How long will it take me to do my CO of O and do the disease of assignment? If it takes you time and energy to acquire the property, then be ready to commit this time and energy to actually also take ownership of the property you have acquired. So do not neglect the paperwork. The paperwork is as good as the property itself. So do not neglect it. Otherwise, you can lose the property, you can lose the ownership, and of course, your return on investment can also be lost. Number 5, don't not just buy a cheap property. Ensure that the property you want to buy is not just ridiculously cheap. Ensure that that property price is realistic, and it is, of course, it's what is obtainable in the market, except that the property seller is, maybe in this case, a real estate development company is doing a promo. Other than those necessary factors, maybe there's a promo ongoing or doing a festive season, somebody just telling you that the property is cheap, just come and buy. Be very, very careful. If the price that is obtainable in the market is just too far apart from what you are being offered, then you have to be very, very careful. Ensure that, because at times when the property is ridiculously cheap, it may be as a result of the fact that there's defect in the title document, there's defect in the location. Maybe you have not had opportunity of inspecting the property. So maybe the property is not strategically located. So that alone can affect the price itself. So maybe the title on the property also is not new, or they've not perfected the title document on it. So these are some of the factors that you can see that a property is selling ridiculously cheap compared to what is obtainable in the market. So you must understand what makes the property to be cheap, and of course make sure you do not neglect your paperwork. Make sure you do not neglect your due diligence, so that it do not tell the story of Adeno later on in future. So if you have actually learned one thing or the other, why don't you subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell? And of course, I remain your award-winning real estate consultant, property advisor, Bello Kamaldin. This is where, of course, we love to give you the pro tips so that you can avoid the costly mistakes other people are making. And of course, feel free to share your experience with us in the comment section. What your experience has been when you acquire the property you acquire, or you know of anyone acquire a property or anywhere in the world you're seeing the video from, and then the kind of experience they had. Feel free to share with our audience in the comment section so that everybody can actually learn one thing or the other from the person's story as well. So I'll come your way again next time. Make sure you remain blessed and turn on the notification bell and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching.